The Cybertruck is just a few months away from hitting the streets, and everyone has been riding the hype train. But don't forget, this is still an EV, and this is the truck market. We have to actually know if this is the solution we've been waiting for, and cool features are just that. Cool, nothing else. We're not saying that this is just another overpriced truck with extra and useless features. We want to know before we talk about that, and to be honest, it'll surprise you because we were. So watch till the end, because this is everything you need to know about the Cybertruck. Real performance. Numbers don't lie, and of course, all these have to be tested and proven through our daily tasks. But as of now, this is the most we know of, and to be honest, it is setting new bars for EVs and even gasoline trucks. Cyberbeast rolls with a confirmed tri-motor setup, packing a 123 kWh battery and an estimated 320-mile range. This thing can go from 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, hits a top speed of 130 miles an hour, and rocks a quarter-mile time of 11 seconds. All this comes at a price tag of $100,000, delivering a beastly 845 horsepower and a whopping 10,296 pound-feet of torque. If you're watching your wallet and still want all these cool things, go for the all-wheel drive Cybertruck at $80,000 before the perks kick in. Losing the third motor and some speed, but gaining a solid 340-mile range. Hits 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, topping out at 112 miles an hour. It packs 600 horsepower, 7,435 pound-feet of torque, and tows up to 11,000 pounds. This is because the towing limit is all about the truck's muscle, not just the powertrain. Looking at this, we don't even need to compare it to the rest of the competition. But there is one thing that all of us worry about when it comes to EVs: range. But Tesla's got you covered with the range extender, an extra battery pack that boosts range by 120 miles. But here's the kicker. The price tag for this boost is expected to be a hefty $116,000, and we're still in the dark about when it's hitting the market. And both Cybertruck versions share a 123 kWh structural battery pack, similar to the Model Y, so we already know that this thing can be trusted. But most of all, the good thing is that the Cybertruck is on a whole different journey than the Tesla semi-saga. This thing has more practical features than any of us expected, but we'll talk about it later on. First, we have to talk about one major drawback. All this is too much for the masses, and compared to the market, this is not even comparable. So they just made a budget-friendly option, the single-motor rear-wheel drive at $61,000. Coming by 2025, it offers a 250-mile range on a single charge, hitting 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. Perfect for city dwellers wanting an electric truck without the heavy-duty features. That is a good thing, but let's be honest, this thing is so expensive, even with the budget-friendly option, and it should be. With all these features, we can't expect less. But who is it for then? What is the real plan? Musk personally showed the first 10 Cybertrucks to some random people, and everyone was wondering how they were chosen. Turns out they're not your usual car big shots, just regular folks amped to hang out with Musk. This was before the big reveal, so let's break it down. No one can deny that this is a cool truck, a unique and very different approach from the rest of the trucks out on the market. Everything about the Cybertruck is about being a minimalist and rugged modern truck. No curves here, it's all about straight lines and angles in the Cybertruck's interior. Even the speaker grills are all about those sharp angles. What's really neat is how the design flows seamlessly from the outside to the inside. But you have to ask yourself why they're doing this. Because this creates one major problem. You see, everything is made to be really hard, so if anything happens to its body, then it would be too expensive to repair, and it's not like other trucks, you can't get away with even the smallest scratches. Who has bulletproof stainless steel that they can just repair their trucks with? All the specs that we talked about here are actually a problem, because a truck this heavy with this amount of ridiculous speed and acceleration will surely be used for some crazy, adventurous rides. And this is heavy. It's slightly smaller than the F-150. It's got room for 5 adults, but the most exciting part is the cargo bed, which is a full 72 inches in length. This is bigger than the F-150 and most other trucks. It has a cargo capacity of 120 cubic feet. But even if we forget about the accidental issues of such a huge truck, we can't deny the real-world challenges. Think of squeezing into regular parking spots, fitting in garages, and cruising through tight city streets. It just doesn't make sense for an average truck driver. But that's exactly the point of the Cybertruck. It's not intended for the average consumer, and Tesla is fine with that. To be honest, this is the most important and strategic move Tesla has made in years. But this will make more sense when we explain why they did this and talk about the competition in just a few minutes. But we're not saying this beast falls short on practical and useful features. Practicality and design. For starters, this big bed comes loaded with LED lights, latching points, and not one but two 120-volt power outlets, plus a 240-volt outlet. That means you can juice up another Tesla with a level 2 charger right from the truck bed, or become your own power station for your house. But that's not all. The Cybertruck has a new and exclusive feature, the power share option. You can transfer 11 kilowatts of power from the vehicle's battery pack to your home, and this is designed to seamlessly integrate with a Tesla Powerwall battery. But if you don't have the Powerwall, a separate inverter is required for connecting the truck to the home. Now, let's talk about the most insane feature. The first thing that catches your eye, the windshield, the largest automotive glass piece on the planet. But while it offers a breathtaking view of the sky, the visibility for objects in front of the truck is less optimal. It's not that bad, but if you're trying to park this beast, then it becomes an issue. But Tesla already thought ahead and installed a front bumper camera on the Cybertruck, effectively monitoring that specific blind spot for drivers. Which is a good thing to have, but it's not perfect all the time. For instance, you can't see what's behind your Cybertruck. And Tesla's solution is the same thing. They just stuck the rear camera view right into the center display and it's always on. You can tweak where you want that rear video feed on the screen, but basically, that's your go-to for looking at what is behind you. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, steering. The production model features 4-wheel steering and steer-by-wire tech. In simple terms, there's no direct link from the inside wheel to the outside ones. A computer interprets your moves, adjusting all 4 wheels as you cruise. The Cybertruck steering wheel won't do a full spin. It's limited to about 180 degrees, split 90 degrees left and right. Which means at slow speeds, a small inside turn means a big outside move. Speed up and a solid twist inside gives a subtle shift outside. Now it gets even more interesting with the funky rear wheel steering. Under 40 miles an hour, those back wheels sync with the front wheels, turning up to 10 degrees opposite to the front ones. Like magic, it shortens the truck on the fly for a slick turn, and this means the giant Cybertruck outtwirls the Model S while maneuvering. And hit over 40 miles an hour and the rear wheels do a sneaky move, turning a bit in the same direction as the front ones. A secret handshake for smoother lane changes and tight maneuvers. The game plan is clear. Make the Cybertruck feel light on its feet despite its size. If this tech lives up to the hype, we might be witnessing a pickup truck tech game changer. So, how does it stack up against the market? You see, the EV market has changed a lot since things were first launched, and to be honest, most people won't buy the Cybertruck for 2 main reasons. One, of course the obvious one, is price. Who's ready to spend this much money on a truck? The second reason is that this is not worth the hassle for the average Joe. Sure, it's cool, but nobody really asked for this. This is basically a street-legal tank. Just strip away the nozzle and you have a cyber beast. But remember when we said this was very intentional? This was what we meant. As of now, if Tesla made something that could appeal to the masses just like they did on their sedans, they would have to deal with all the complications that come with producing all these trucks with the same quality and at a fast rate. It just doesn't make sense for them to do that. But the competition is doing exactly that. Look at the Canoe truck. Everything about it is made to be as useful and practical as it can be. It is very intuitive for any new owner. The best thing is that it is the best alternative for anyone who wants to transition to EVs, but still wants a powerful truck. Tesla is not doing that, but they are closely talking to the Indonesian and Indian governments in order to make gigafactories abroad, where they can get less restriction and get close to the most wanted and most essential rare earth material, lithium. That is why the cheapest option is coming a year later than the other ones. But what do you think? Is this really the future? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe.